This country is at political crossroads. That's why there's a lot of jostling, a lot of hustling, a lot of accusations and counter-accusations. And that's why there are formations. In political history of many countries, when you get to places like this, a lot would be happening. Sometimes, after this kind of moment, the country then picks up one kind of political system. Either it becomes one-party state, as in the case of Russia after the First World War, or becomes a two-party system, of course, in between with small minor parties, as it is with the case with America, or sometimes we have a functional dictatorship, as was the case in 1949, 1950, with Mao Zedong in China. Kenya has had minor opportunities such as this. In 1963, we had a defining moment in our history, but the politics of greed and betrayal made us lose that opportunity. In the year 2002, when KANU was vanquished, a moment was also created. But again, the politics of betrayal made sure we took 2 steps backwards. Today, we find ourselves in a position where the future of this country is about to be defined. After the year 2022, we are likely to have one-party state in this country. This country is likely to be a one-party state, or, and this is more unlikely, we could have 2 strong formations. And this explains why there are formations. And this explains why I am concerned that my Mlembe nation doesn't seem to be reading the signs of the time. The Luhya community does not seem to understand that at this point in history, the political map of this country is being drawn. In the year 2002, when we almost made it, communities and regions ensured that they were part of the Rainbow Coalition. From Western, we had Michael Omolo Kijana and Mudi Awori. After Musalia Mudavadi kind of took 3-4 steps backwards. From Eastern, especially Lower Eastern, we had Kalonzo Musyoka and Charity Ngilu. We had Kibaki from Central and the Mount Kenya region. We had Raila Odinga from Nyanza region. And then Ronald Ngala's boy, of course, chickened out. We ended up with a summit, which if Kibaki had not betrayed, would have created a trajectory for this country. And by now, we would be looking back and saying, that was the moment that defined us. So for the Luhya nation, I see you confused. The Luhya people are so confused that they do not understand that these formations are critical because they'll go into the future many, many years to come from now. We will be wondering why the Luhya never read the signs of the time. You see confusion. You see young men from Bungoma and a few from Kakamega County with a seasoned politician like Boni Khalwale, my friend, seeming not quite aware of what's going on. And now you see Oparanya seem to be joining some ambivalent formations. Then you get worried. And then the son, the prince of the region, Musalia Mudavadi, it doesn't seem to be coming out clearly because look here, Kenya today, you are either with the handshake or with the Ruto team. Because this is what's going to inform the politics of this country. There is no room for katikati. There is no room for third anything. And that's why I'm wondering why Raila Odinga does not take a cue from Kalonzo Musyoka, who was with him after the so-called betrayal by Raila, after the swearing in. Because Kalonzo Musyoka has kind of seen, and he's leading his region, he's leading his community and his people into the future of this country. So strong is Kalonzo Musyoka, in fact, because of this association with the handshake team, that the 3 governors who intend to kind of antagonize him, will get nowhere. So for the Luhya nation, I'm getting to a point where I'm wondering, don't we seem to be reading the time as Luhyas? And I'm asking Francis Atwoli, I think. I've asked Francis Atwoli repeatedly to help put his community somewhere on the map. If Musalia Mudavadi, Wetangula, and the rest of these people are unable to read the times, signs of the time, are unable to see that after 2022, Kenya is most likely to have one strong formation, either because Ruto will have joined the handshake team, which is what I would really wish for this country, or even if he doesn't, and he wins, or the handshake team wins, it is going to be so obvious that whoever wins this election in 2022 will vanquish the one who loses. That the one who loses will definitely be vanquished for many reasons. One, if the handshake team wins, Ruto will have given them such a hard time that they would not want to see him around. And because of that, we will go into the future minus the Ruto team and for many years to come, until such a time that there will be a reaction against this monolithic arrangement that will have been put in place in 2022. When that happens, perhaps that's after 30, 40 years, there will be a generational move to change from the conservative team that was put in place in 2022. And that's when Kenya will have a two-party arrangement. Equally, if Ruto wins, and remember I'm using the word if he wins, if he becomes president, and I'm not saying if he became president, because I'm seeing this as a possibility, Ruto will not be president comfortably with all these people around, and therefore he will take it upon himself to ensure that he has kind of finished all these people, not of course killing them, but he will finish them politically, he will finish them economically, he will go after their business. You know, when somebody is in power, anywhere in the world, because it is government that people do business with, and therefore if somebody denies you government business or government connection, they will have finished you. You need the goodwill of State House, White House, and any of these other places for you as a functional businessman or a politician in a country to do well. And therefore, if the man at State House suffocates you, if he turns off the taps, he will clear you. And that is going to happen. And that's why I look at the Luhya nation and tell the Luhya nation, put your house in order. This idea of running like headless chicken because of handouts for some of the young men will not take this community anywhere. And finally, I'm asking the prince of the region, Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi, take charge in the manner in which Raila takes charge in his region. Take charge in the manner in which Uhuru Kenyatta takes charge of his region and indeed the country today. Take charge in the manner in which William Samoei Ruto takes charge of his region. And if you're unable to do that, I now openly call upon Francis Atwoli to come and lead the Luhya nation out of the confusion that I'm witnessing today, so that the Luhya nation joins the entire nation. Because I've said 2022 will be a year that defines the kind of country we'll have for many years to come, for many generations to come. And therefore, it will be sad that such a populous and important community is left out of that. And you'll be left out of that because if fragments of you go into the Tanga team or the Ruto team, and you are not playing significant roles there, if the most prominent son of the area, Musalia Mudavadi, doesn't seem to be embrace the handshake, neither is he with Ruto, and he wouldn't be with Ruto because his stature, his position, he cannot deputize or play second fiddle to Ruto. I'm not saying he should do the same in the handshake team. Neither am I saying if the Luhya join the handshake team, they will be joining there to be second in command, third in command. They could as well take charge. So I'm asking Musalia Mudavadi, take charge. In the event it is difficult for you, if the kitchen is too hot, I'm asking Francis Atwoli, come up and lead your community into working with other Kenyans into prosperity and into the future.